Hey everybody, welcome to Vibe Time with David. Jerry's son is home from Germany. He's in the army, he's home from Germany, so she's taking the night off to spend some time with her son, which I'm very happy for. Dennis is supposed to be on here with me, but don't know where he's at. Maybe he fell off another roof. So you're going to have to just deal with me tonight. And if any of y'all who watch this show on a regular basis know I don't talk a whole heck of a lot. So I'm going to have a hard time here. But I'm going to try it. If anybody wants to, got any questions or has any topics they want to talk about, please feel free to let me know. See, make sure I even got on. Did this right. Make sure I got live on everybody. Sorry about that. So one of the things that I think I might want to talk about is okay. Don't just hate when you get mid thought and just all of a sudden you have a brain fart. It just happened to me. I really hate that. Yeah. One thing I saw on TikTok earlier today, or yesterday rather, is how some people say they collect evidence from whatever location 100% of the time that they are there. In my experience, they're either lying to you or they've only been there one or two times because no place is 100%. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Hope you're doing well tonight. Yeah, but like I said, no place is 100%. There, I've been to places several times, and yeah, there's some places I get stuff majority of the time that I'm there, but there's always that one time that the ghosts don't feel like playing, so they're not going to play. And you'll try do everything in your arsenal to try to get a response out of them. Nothing. They'll go in the other room, or they just won't interact with you. That's that's just the way things are. So as active as the cabin on 360 is, the manor house, any other place I've been to, uh, you hear all sorts of stories that this happening, that happening, and yeah, that stuff does happen, but it does not happen 100% of the time. I'm sorry. I've been to the cabin on 360 and I didn't get anything. Now, most of the time we do get something. I'm not saying that it does not happen. It does. Like I said, cabin on 360 is a great place to go, and it's a and for the price that you pay to do it, cabin on 360 is amazing. So if y'all want a good place to go that's won't bite you in the butt by taking a big old chunk of money out of your wallet, give Dennis a holler. Uh, I wish he'd hurry up and get on here. Come on, Dennis. Hey, Paul, you got any topics you want to talk about? It can be an awful boring hour if y'all waiting on me. And everybody's always asking me that when I do my ghost tours at the Manor House or in Williamsburg. Yeah, I don't know where Dennis is. I have not heard from him. Yeah, but anyhow, people at the Manor House, people always ask me what my favorite piece of equipment is, and I have to say my body camera is my favorite piece of equipment because the body camera I use the Bob Love. It's like the police body cameras, and it was only the one I have. Paid I think I paid 145 for it, and it's amazing. The picture quality is really good. The sound quality is amazing, and the battery life on night vision camera, you cannot beat it. A fully charged battery on night vision, it'll last 6, 7 hours, and on the night vision camcorders, you're looking for battery lasts you 45 minutes. Yeah, body camera. Okay, Paul. Yeah, body camera is number one. EVP recorder number two, and number three is a REM pod and K2 meter. I can't argue with that list, Paul. Not at all. Uh, the REM pod above the K2 meter because K2 meter, in my opinion, might be a little bit too susceptible to outside influences. Like I say, even if you have your cell phone on airplane mode, it can still cause a little bit of disruption there. Now, if you're in the middle of the woods and you don't have your cell phone on yet at all, and the K2 meter goes off, you probably got something going on there. But the REM pod, in my experience, I have not found any outside influences to mess with that REM pod. Now there are people who say that they have seen it, and I'm not gonna dispute them because I they may have seen it, I haven't. Paul, now what if Bigfoot really is blurry and it's not the photographer's fault? Okay, that's an interesting perspective. It's the one time, like I said, I fully believe that I saw Bigfoot one time when I was a little kid, and he wasn't blurry then. He or she, I don't know what the sex was, but the Bigfoot I believe that I saw when I was a little kid, he was not blurry. And I was a little kid, so obviously I didn't have a camera waiting to take a picture of him, but that's the one time that I believe I saw Bigfoot because I was living in Oregon and I was going over to my uncle's house. His house is about 100 yards from my house, with woods in between our house. And I look over and I to this day I swear to God I believe I saw Bigfoot. But you're absolutely right. Every picture I've ever seen of him has always been blurry or from a long distance away. The only clear pictures that I've seen have been proven to be fake. You're absolutely right, Paul. Prove you can't prove anything in the paranormal field to be scientifically right or whatever you want to call it because they call it paranormal pseudoscience. Yeah, we could do everything in our power what we believe to be scientific, but there's always going to be somebody out there to say, no, well, you should have done it this way, or that doesn't mean anything, or whatever. And and plus, you even have people in the paranormal field that they're if they don't have if they didn't capture the evidence themselves, it's not real evidence. It's fake, or it's they you did it wrong, or whatever. Because I and that's one of my biggest pet peeves is if you get people that's actually in the field that they don't believe anything is real unless they catch it themselves, which that's a bunch of BS. Uh, so who else is in here besides Paul? Oh, and I agree with you on that as well, Paul. And in my opinion, that stuff that you see that you catch on the body camera, if it's it's as true as you can get. But again, yeah, the people that's in the field that if they didn't capture it themselves, it's not real. You manipulated it somehow, or there was a shadow of a car driving by, or whatever. Even though you know for a fact that there was no cars around, there was nothing around, you didn't fake anything. But like I said, you still have those people that are naysayers. But that's the nature of the beast, I guess. Hey, Leah, how you doing? You're gonna have to help me out tonight. Give me some topics to talk about, Leah. Jerry left me on my own. Dang it. She'll watch this show back and she'll learn not to do this again. Yep, yep. Like Paul said, sad part is you may get something, and I could go back to the same spot and never have that experience. That's absolutely right, because there, it's really hard to duplicate an experience because there's always be something a little bit different. Yeah, I might capture something that is amazing. I am Mr. Flowers. Yeah, I might capture something that's amazing, and you might go out there and you can capture something amazing, but it'd be totally different. Or you might go out there and you won't capture anything. That's go back to what I'm saying, what I said at the beginning. Just because if somebody says somebody get capture something 100% of the time, they're either lying or they've only been there one or two times. Because no place is 100%. Yeah, um, Jerry took the night off because her son is home on leave, so she spends some time with her son. I need to trim my mustache and beard. It's curling up and tickling my nose, my lips. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not sure where Dennis is tonight. I have not heard from him. Maybe he fell off another roof. I don't know. And I need to correct myself. I'm not Mr. Flowers. That's my dad. I'm David. Yeah, I hope he didn't fall off another roof either. I'm just joking on that. Yeah, 'cause he went through some bad stuff on that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The last I saw Dennis was at the cabin con there back in May, and he wasn't on his crutches or anything, but he wasn't getting around the greatest. But he was getting better. Yeah, and one thing I've noticed about all those paranormal equipment that's coming out or has been coming out, I'm we get a whole lot of brand quote unquote brand new stuff. To me, I think it's the same stuff with just different packaging. Because if you sit back and look at it, it still does the same thing as everything else. I I haven't gotten any new activity at the manor house. We had a we've had a couple of guests. They've gotten a few things, but nothing earth shattering. But they had some pretty good experiences. A couple of good EVPs. He, yep, fall back on the basics. Yeah, and yeah, here I am talking smack about all this new stuff that's all the same stuff. But whenever I get a chance, I still get something new, just just in case. Yeah, I've done that before. I take I've taken everything in my arsenal and just used the same few things that I always use every time. I'll throw out my REM pod or I like my laser grid just in case because I've never really got anything that I can say, yeah, I Casper showed up in front of me on the laser grid, but I just like it. Plus, it's fun to play with. You twist a little end of it and get the different patterns on the wall. Yeah. And there, a few years back, I led a group at Moundsville Penitentiary here in West Virginia, and I took everything I had there, and I ended up using my camera and my voice recorder and my K2 meter and my REM pod. Yeah. And plus I use my SB7 a lot too. Even though I have a love hate relationship with that SB7. I love it, but I hate it at the same time. But it honestly gives me a headache. But I got a new piece of equipment. It's the Hex box. It's like the SB7, but it's got some different modes on there that I'm still trying to learn it, and figure it out. But it's got one where it totally skips over radio stations, and I'm liking that one. I'm liking that mode. Took my toolbox on wheel, yeah, yeah. I've got my toolbox on wheels too. Yeah, but that hex box, I'm I'm liking it, and I'm getting to where I think I might like it a little bit better than the SB7, because you like I say, you can got the different modes on there, and you can set it where it's totally skips over active radio stations, and that's just so cool to me, because what I've noticed in the 16 years I've done the ghost tour, a lot of people, and I've had some quote unquote experienced investigators on my tour as well. A lot of people seem to think that the ghost, they pull the words out of the radio station, like the DJ or somebody out on the radio talking, and they pull the words from what they're saying, which that doesn't happen. They're just communicating through the white noise. So if you can get you a box like the hex box that actually skips over active radio stations, and you hear something, that you got something pretty cool right there. Built a spirit radio with the pedals and all for the SB7, but they haven't had time to really play with it. Can you explain that one a little bit for me? Yeah, if you explain that one a little bit for me. The spirit radio with the pedals and all for the SB7. Yeah, it sounds interesting. Yeah, but anyhow, like I said, a lot of I don't know. I guess I can understand why people might be thinking that, and that's one reason why when I do use the SB7, I have it scanning the fastest I can. I have mine scanning at 50 milliseconds, because at that speed, you're not you will not hear a full word beyond maybe no, because it is moving so fast. So when you do hear a complete word, especially a multiple syllable word, you need to pay attention to what you're hearing. The unit with the honeytone amp, and it has two guitar pedals to do. Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, yeah. And that hex box, it's got reverb. You can do the reverb on it as well. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty cool there, Paul. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh. And one thing I I get a I have been having to bite my tongue and keep from laughing at people, because on the ghost tour, I get a lot of people coming through there that they're this, they're that, they're some sort of psychic or empath or whatever. And we've had a few of them say, well, we got something evil in this room over here. We don't have anything evil in the manor house. We we get a lot of what I call pass throughs coming through the manor house. They're just passing through. They have no historic connection, and we've had a few pissed off ghosts pissed off spirits. If that's what you want to call evil, maybe so. But when I'm thinking evil, I'm thinking demonic. Yep, you're absolutely right, Paul. Everybody wants to make things demonic, and no. And I've been doing this for a bunch of years now, and demons, yes, they are there. I'm not going to sit here and try blowing smoke saying that they're not real. They are real, but they are very rare, and they definitely don't happen 7 times in a season like there's a certain ghost adventure wants to let you believe. Yeah, my time 97% of my contact has been good. Yes, yes, and that's one reason why 100% of the time when I'm doing an investigation, I'm always respectful to ghosts because it to me I'm like it's like talking to another person. Uh, if I treat you with respect, you treat me with respect, and I don't care if I'm in a prison where I'm talking to a dead prisoner. He's dead. He's paid his debt, so I'm going to treat him with respect. Now, that does not mean that if a spirit does something to me or one of my investigators that I'm not going to react. To me, that's totally different. That's not being disrespectful. That's reacting. So if they start something, I'll do my damnedest to finish something. But I'm not going to go out there and automatically call them a piece of crap just try to get a reaction out of them. I'm not going to do that. That's other people do it, and I don't like it, but they're not on my team, so I can't say nothing about it because I'm not going to sit here and say the way I do my investigations is the right way, the only way. If you don't do it my way, you're doing it wrong. Because I'm not like that. Because there's plenty of ways to do it. I might not agree with some of the ways, but it's still there's. I'm not saying they're going to be wrong. I just don't might not agree with them. Yeah, I keep looking down here to see if gotten any messages from Dennis, but haven't. So who's give me some bucket list places y'all want to investigate. I tell you the number one place on my bucket list, if money was not an object, I'd go anywhere I wanted to go. My number one place would be Normandy. That's always been the top of my list of places to go, just because 9 years in the Navy, so Normandy's got has has a little special meaning to me. So I've always wanted to go to Normandy, and I haven't heard anything about Normandy being haunted, but I can't see how it would not be because of everything that's happened there. So, but yeah, Normandy would be my number one place. Uh, the castles in the UK, England, Ireland, Scotland. I would love to go to the castles. Absolutely love it. And of course, there's plenty of places here in the U.S. that I'd want to go to as well. But the Normandy and then the castles in the UK, that's yeah, I would just absolutely love that. As soon as I hit that lottery, that's what I'm doing. Guess I have to play the lottery first. soon as I hit the lottery, I'm gonna have to continue working if I hit the lottery because there's got so many things I want to do and buy. I'd have to hit the lottery twice to retire. Packages. Yeah, one thing I just ran across my mind is this is something that Jerry and we keep going back and forth on. She says psychics, it, that your psychic abilities, it's something you're born with, and I've always said that that's a gift. That yeah, she said you're born with. You just have to work on developing it, and I say it's a gift. And I'm still leaning more towards the gift side, but especially these last 5 years that I've worked with Jerry, there might be now. Don't tell her I said this, 'cause I'll deny it. But there might be a little bit something to what she's saying because I have noticed. Now, don't think I'm trying to say I'm psychic by any stretch of the imagination because I'm not. I, I'm I'm not psychic at all. But I have found myself feeling something like different, feeling things at the manor house or in other places as well that is totally a different feeling for me. And I run it by Jerry and she confirms what I'm feeling, which that's kind of weird there because, like I said, I am not psychic by any stretch of the imagination. But so I'm, I'm thinking there might be a little bit something to what she's saying. And like you're saying, Leah, some of each. I think some of it might be gifts, some of it might be development. I don't know. But it just we always butt heads about it. But half the time I think I'm just trying to contradict her just to piss her off. Yeah, I agree with you, Leah. Battlegrounds, they gotta be haunted to some degree. They definitely because just because of the energy that was there. And I remember a while back I saw a video that it was so realistic. I was sure it had to be AI or something faked because it was a video out at uh, good God, at Pennsylvania. Oh God, what's that famous battle that took place in Pennsylvania? Uh, I can't even believe I can't. Yeah, but anyhow, it definitely have to be. Yeah, yeah. It's but anyhow, I saw a video that it was a soldier walking out of the woods, and it was so realistic. Like I said, I thought it had to be fake. And then the person who actually took the video, it's a person I know that I don't believe that they'd be blowing smoke. He said no, it is not fake. That's I took this video myself, and I said, wow, yeah, it's I don't know what's up with my head tonight. 'Cause I cannot think of that the most famous battle in Pennsylvania. It's during the Civil War. Come on, y'all, help me out here. Yeah, Yeah, thanks, Phil. Gettysburg. Wow. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that. Yeah, but it is a video out of Gettysburg, and it was amazing. How you doing tonight, Phil? Yeah, yeah. One of the most amazing EVPs that I've heard in a extremely long time. Phil's wife Jeannie captured it. We were at Moundsville, and her and a couple of the other ladies that was with us, they were out there. They were in the rec area talking outside, and she had set her EVP recorder down on the little half wall, and they walked over a few steps that they were talking, and then all of a sudden you hear, "Give me a cig," and it was like I said, there was no ghost box. It was just sitting there recording, and you hear, "Give me a cig," and it's a real gravelly voice, and you could hear them in the background talking whatever it was they were talking about, and there was nobody else around, and she played that for me. It made a hair on the back of my neck stand up. It was amazing. To this day, that's probably the very very best EVP I've ever heard. It is amazing, and plus his wife is the one that really got, because before I met Jeannie, I was one of those that if you hold on, what's going on here, Mister Eslock? Hello, hello. Nope. Hey, hold on. I heard something.
David?
Yeah, there you are.
Yay! If you
Yeah,
can't tell, I'm sweating like a horse.
yeah. It'd be getting one if you fell off another roof or something.
No, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I apologize tremendously. Um, but yeah, trying to get back into the swing of things. So here I am pushing the mower across front yard. Had to go and buy a new mower because I couldn't get the old one to fire up. That was 6, 7 years old. I'm like, I'm tired of fighting it. It's been the past 3 mows. So here I am limping across the front yard, and Hope comes running out going, oh shit! My phone was still in the house, so I didn't, and I don't have my watch on. And I'm like, what the hell time is it? She's like, it's 8:30. Oh shit! I'm like, they probably hate me. I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah,
Yes.
so it's I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. Better
Uh,
late than never.
yeah, and I do apologize, man.
Now you're fine.
I've been asshole deep trying to keep up, catch up, get everything done. And look, as soon as I open the damn Facebook page, the first thing I see is Vibe Time with Jerry. Don't forget tonight at 8 p.m. It's David and Dennis. No, it was David going, "Where's that stupid son of a bitch at?" Oops.
Yeah, because I started saying off says if y'all watch this show for any length of time, you know I don't talk a whole lot, and then all of a
Really?
sudden I'm here on my own. Yeah, that was real fun.
Sorry. Hi, Phil. Hi, Leah.
Yeah.
I apologize to everybody that was thinking, hey, man, this is going to be awesome. We get to listen to Dennis and David. No, no, not quite. Um, no, it's just been one of those days, and they seem to be um, compounding on each other. Like I had to leave. I'm doing a bath remodel, trying to get it buttoned up and put back together. I was in the midst of this bathroom when gravity chucked my ass off a roof. Um, so, of course, thank God it's an absolute sweetheart of a client. It'll be there when you get back together. We'll get you up and running. So I'm trying to work on that. About 3 o'clock, I was limping so bad and walking so painfully. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going home. So I came home and crawled in the bed with an ice pack for a couple hours. Oh, look, there's chat. Uh, but yeah, it's been this is my first surgery. What, 6, 8 weeks out of surgery, reconstructing that ankle and my heel. Um, Doctor said, oh, you'll have a few weeks of discomfort. Bitch, you didn't tell me I was going to have cankle. I'm like 6 or 8 weeks out, and I'm like, why do I still have cankle? Why is that foot still swollen? Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
But hopefully it gets better. So, what's the topic, my brother?
Well, I've been talking about several different things, but one of the things I was talking about, because I saw it on TikTok yesterday, and talking about how people say that when they go somewhere, they capture evidence 100% of the time, and I'm calling bullshit on that because I've never gotten anything 100% of the time when I've gone to places multiple times. That's including the cabin. The
Yeah,
first time I was at the cabin, I didn't get anything. But the other times I've been at the cabin, I've got some pretty good stuff. So as good as the cabin is, that's not 100% of the time.
I think the question has to come in: A, how experienced are these people saying they get it 100% of the time? B, what's the quality of what they're getting? And C, is it actually evidence or is it them trying to make their name? Are they
Very good
making
point.
something out of nothing? You know, there are some TikTokers that I watch, and they're like, so on the recording here, it says I hear this, and they play it repeatedly, and I'm like, I don't hear a fucking thing even
Yeah.
remotely close to that. But again, pareidolia, the visible aspect of the mind trying to make up for what you see, and audiodolia, where the hearing and the mind try to make sense of what it's hearing, plays a lot into it. You
Yeah.
know, that piece of evidence that I put out a couple of weeks ago of the voice on the front side of the cabin, 10 minutes after one, nobody's on property, the blink camera activates. I open it up to see what's going on, who's on my property at 10 minutes after one. And the first thing I hear is, hey, Ryan. First thing I hear is, hello, Dennis. Well, when I uploaded it to Facebook and then I played it back myself, it sounded totally different than it did coming in raw from the camera.
Yeah.
So that's one aspect. Keep in mind, they take a file this big, smush it down to this big, put it to their servers, and then try to make it this big again, and it's not going to be disturbed.
Right.
No. So you have that issue. Two, again, it goes to that audio dolia. How many times have you heard an EVP that you think says this,
Hmm.
and everybody else is like, I don't hear that. I hear this.
Yeah.
So, when you're, and I don't want to besmirch anybody that does TikTok or YouTube or any of that. You guys do you. Just don't think you walk on water because I'll call bullshit on you.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
And
and
again, you have to look at the source. Is it a paranormal investigator saying this, or is it a ghost hunter saying it?
well, I think at this point, and this will probably hurt a few feelings, and we all know Dennis is gravely concerned about doing that.
Oh yeah.
Ghost hunter and paranormal investigator anymore is being used synonymously. The difference is ghost hunter, paranormal investigator, or YouTuber, TikToker, because most of those content creators are in it now because it's a great um, draw. They
Yeah.
want those clicks. They want the sponsors and all of that shit. They're not after it like we are, where we want actual evidence that we can base findings on or create further research.
Yeah.
I don't care if anybody clicks and likes my shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm right there with you and I have nothing against the ghost hunter. We have all done it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We've all done it. But I'm not going to sit here and say when I'm out there ghost hunting, I'm not going to sit there and automatically say, well, this is paranormal, this is paranormal, that's not paranormal. I'm just out, hey, that could have been paranormal, that was cool, and just drop it at that.
yeah. And that's, you know, but I think you and I have been doing this long enough to know the difference between a paranormal investigator, that's someone that has researched the history, that has researched the equipment, that has researched, um, the location, the claims, and we're keeping data, and a ghost hunter that's just out there going, can you talk to this little red light?
Yeah,
And, you know, when I say that those two terms are getting used synonymously anymore, it's way too much.
mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, I remember 20 plus years ago when I started doing this, and I said I do paranormal investigations. People looked at me like I had just grown a dildo out of my forehead. You what?
Yeah,
Um, I ghost hunt. Oh, that's cool. And
yeah,
see, then all of a sudden you got a whole class of people that that's what they did. Whereas I had notebooks and I had backup drives and I had bought software and all of those things to track something, be it tracking names or tracking whatever. It wasn't just, can I get something to happen?
yeah,
And then, you had to tell people you were a ghost hunter to get them to understand because they didn't understand what a paranormal investigator was.
yeah,
So it's a totally different field now than it was just 10 years ago. Now
yeah.
the
You're
question
absolutely
comes
right.
in, what do we blame that on? Do we want to blame it on the big names? Do we want to blame it on the Bagans? Do we want to blame it on the Halls and the TV personalities? Or do we want to blame it on social media?
I think there's enough blame to go around.
Oh, plenty.
Okay,
But
because it started with the TV shows.
but here's the thing. With those TV shows, as much mud as they put in the water, they did one great thing for this field. They brought it to more of a social norm. People don't look at me now like I have a dildo growing out of my forehead when I say I'm a paranormal investigator. Now they're
Yeah,
like, oh, that's pretty cool. I watch shows on that. And John Stevens has one of the most classic statements of this entire field. Everyone has a ghost story.
Hmm. Yeah.
Something in the background kicked on that sounds like a life flight landing in my room. Like, what the hell is that? I think it's my little mini fridge back here trying to take a shit on me. Why not? Add it
Yeah.
to the add it to
Yeah.
the old lawnmower sitting out on the curb. Which, by the way, curb alert. Appomattox Street, you can find a frickin' lawnmower sitting out at the curb. I don't care what you do with it. I pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled, and it wouldn't start. And finally, I flipped it off and dragged it to the curb. Let's go buy a new one. This one's tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so much difference between a paranormal investigator, a ghost hunter, and a social media. Um,
Wannabe.
I, yeah, I don't. I mean, you've got YouTube, TikTok, Periscope, Rainbow. There's five, six, seven different platforms. I guess we can call them platformers. That
Yeah.
works because most of them are on every platform. And I get it. If it pays the bills or so much as buys you a tank of gas, fantastic, bro. More power to you.
Yeah.
Just don't be a dick.
Yeah. And doing my paranormal 101 tours, I can't tell you how many people has come in that's learned how to ghost hunt from Zach Baggins.
You mean to tell me you didn't?
No.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we I think all of us pick a little bit up from here, a little bit from there. So to an extent, he was kind of a teacher. But if you look at early episodes, and I mean when they were first coming out, they weren't bad.
Like
But
I said, and I've said this plenty of times. That very very first episode, before they were even had their series, it was just like a one off.
hmm
That one was a very good episode
hmm
because
it,
he didn't get possessed,
no,
and they were actually doing things what I consider the right way.
yeah. Now the difference is, and I got asked this question. So what do you think of Zach Bagans? And I said, well, I think the character he has developed for his show is an absolute tool, but he is a marketing genius.
Yeah.
And they asked me, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, I know a lot of investigators, and not a damn one of them that I know can hand the key fob to their new Ferrari to the valet at the casino and go, I'll be back in a couple of hours. He can.
Yeah.
So he marketed, he created a character, he morphed that character as need be through the years and kept himself on the for lack of better terms hierarchy of the television shows to the point that you know there's so many shows in the past few years that got canceled and they're all saying Zach did it. He had enough power to say if you air them again, I'm done. Not a damn one of us can do that.
No. Yeah. We tried saying this. Said, see ya.
Yeah. So, I think the shows did some good for the field. They did some bad for the field.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the characters that we, for lack of better terms, started watching years ago um, did some good, did some bad. And I mean, let's face it, you take any group of 100 people, and I don't care in what field, profession, or occupation, or even recreation, and you're going to have some that hurt it, some that help it, and some that do both.
Yeah.
And I think it's no different than any other hobby. Years ago, I bowled, and I mean, I would bowl 4, 5, 6 days a week, and at times I would bowl, you know, 20 games back to back, and I would pick up little pointers from the person on my left and some from the person on my right. And then I got into pool and I picked up pointers from this opponent or this teammate or whatever.
Yeah.
I learned just like this field a little bit from everybody. And even if you don't like those characters, they taught us something.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things Zach taught us was don't go in beating on your chest going, I'm badass, possess me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so many different things that we can look at in this field that are good about it. We have learned different um, tools to use. And a lot of those had to be inspired by those guys, you know, the Jason Hawes, the Grants, you know, even the people that were one off on what the hell was the training thing they did? Paranormal. It was some school thing. I don't remember what the
Oh
name of it
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And but you know, even some of those investigators or contestants, I guess,
Yeah.
had some ideas that got put to use down the road. Yeah, and Lee, what little I know about the paranormal, I learned mostly from reading about it. So, and the question comes in, who did you read? You know, I mean, if you're reading, it's the Great Pump, Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's not a whole lot of paranormal, but it is about the paranormal. But there's so much. There's so many ways that this field can go, can change, and it has. The question comes in: what parts do you like? What parts don't you like? You don't like this part? Cool. Don't participate in that part. Don't replicate that part. And you don't like this person or that person? Cool. Don't pay to go to their events. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to get by.
Yeah.
I'm busting my ass to save a location. Um, does that mean I'm going to investigate any different? Yeah, yeah, it does. I'm going to investigate more as a team lead or a group leader than as an investigator because now, sadly, in that role, I am more of a ghost hunter than a paranormal investigator because I'm not keeping my notes. I'm not tracking my EVPs. I'm not tracking contacts because now it's about getting people to come to the location to help keep it financed. Now, a few weeks ago, Bedford Paranormal, my Misfit Toys, they all got together. They took my happy ass out to Trans Allegheny. I was a little bit of a dick. And they're like, where are we going first? I don't care where y'all are going. You can either go with me or go your own way as long as you don't um, fuck up my investigation. And I actually got back to my brass roots of doing an investigation. Sat in a hallway for 10 minutes and just watched. Didn't make a sound, didn't talk to shit. Um, just sat and watched and absorbed the energy instead of, and folks, if you look over in this corner, we typically see such and such. And if you pay attention, maybe you'll see it. No, it wasn't any of that. It was just getting back to pick up the vibe of the area, see what you get.
Yeah.
So everybody's situation plays a little different role in how they investigate, why they investigate, and whether they're a ghost hunter or a paranormal investigator. And Phil, I love the way you answered that. I learned by investigating with lots of other people who were way more experienced than myself. And some of what you learned from them, you probably went, eh, that just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it that way. And you took a little bit of that, you morphed it a little bit to turn it the way that you felt comfortable with that. And I applaud that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
all of us should do it a little bit differently. We
Yeah.
should do it the way that makes us comfortable.
Yeah. And like I was saying at the top of the show while you were ignoring me, I when I'm doing my paranormal 101, I let people know right from the get go the way that I'm showing you, this is the way that I do it. There's a bunch of teams out there. Each team does things a little bit differently. I'm not saying I'm right and they're wrong. I'm just saying it's a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because there are, you would know as well as I do, there's a ton of investigators out there. And like you just said, everybody does things just a little bit differently. And hey, you might do something that I
Hey,
don't
well,
agree with, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means
yeah.
you're doing something I don't agree with.
Yeah. And I mean, now I've had people get upset with me and I've had people laugh at me. When I go into the basement at the cabin in the Brick Rancher, I always coming down, asshole. And people are like, some just find it funny, some are a little bit miffed. And I'm like, well, there's something down here that has a tendency to do less than honorable things. Well, if you're a human, if you're a living person, and I'm dealing with you in Kroger and you do something less than honorable, I'm going to call you an asshole. Plus, I've gotten called a lot of names in that basement, so it's just turnabout's fair play.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lee says I don't do paranormal investigation and probably won't at my age. What are you, like 97, 99? But I like listening to these podcasts to learn about other people's experiences with it. Well, Lee, you're always welcome to come out to the cabin and join us. Um, Age is just a number,
Yeah.
and I don't look at it, you know, the only reason that I have any issue with age is the very young going into locations where we know there is something that can be harmful. Um, Other than that, go for it. I mean, look at Skylar Parakeet. That little girl is 10 years old, just turned 10. And she has been to a lot of the big locations, the reputable locations. And she's been perfectly fine. But she goes with dad. Dad takes care of her. Oh, well, that ain't nothing, Lee. You
Yeah.
need to come out and join us, hon. But,
Yeah.
you know, I've got, well, I mean, look at Steve and Mary Thompson. Absolutely wonderful couple. I love them to death. And they are probably mid 70s, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, ah, Daryl, that's just rude. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, I mean, age doesn't have anything to do with it. Here's the way I look at it. I'm still going to be investigating as long as I can walk and move, simply because I want to know what's on that other side. I want to know what to look forward to. I want to know what to anticipate. And if I'm fortunate enough that I can come back and haunt my friends or others, awesome. I have a list.
You and me both.
You're on mine.
Yeah, you're definitely on mine. Jerry's number one, you're number two.
What the hell?
Yeah, hate to hurt your feelings there.
All right, I'll take it. They're going to know when it's me because they're going to be like, Dennis, can you hear us? Bicycle. She said bicycle. What the fuck does that mean? Yeah, that means Dennis is fucking with us. So, but
Oh,
yeah, there's so many different directions that this field can go, and no matter what you do, somebody's going to bitch about it.
oh yeah,
And it's not just this field; it's anything in life. Um, there are always detractors from your joy and happiness. Um, it just, it just, it's not going to change. No matter what you do, if it brings you joy, somebody's going to be unhappy about it.
yeah,
So just do what makes you happy and piss on the others. Dad taught me one thing growing up. Well, he taught me a shitload of things, but one that stuck with me because, most of the time it was in one ear and out the other. There are 360 degrees rotation in this world. I occupy one. If you don't fucking like me, turn 359 degrees elsewhere and tote your ass. And it's
yeah,
true. I'm going to do it the way that I'm comfortable doing it. If you introduce me to a new method, I will modify it to suit my comfort zone. But, you know, I'm not, even if you teach me a specific method, I'm not going to do it exactly the way you do.
yeah,
It just, I want to tweak this or tweak that. And it just is what it is. It doesn't mean your way is wrong. It just means that it's a little more comfortable for me. And yeah, Lee, absolutely correct.
yeah,
Let them.
yeah,
If they want to walk away, let them. If they want to talk shit, let them.
yeah.
Unless
And
they want to, unless they want to, you know, uh, trade hands, and then I'll do that. These
no,
is equal opportunity, motherfucker.
no, you'll just reach behind your back. You're too old to trade hands.
Yeah. And now I'm too injured to run. I'm too old to stand and fight, but I'm a really good shot.
Yeah, and plus, if I show you a specific way of doing things, and you go and do it that specific way, how is this field expanding?
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, if I don't introduce a little something different to it, then it's the same thing it was yesterday, the day before, the day before,
Yeah,
and the day before. So, and the whole purpose behind the Cabin on 360 when Ryan and I first started going out there was we can just use it as a team training ground to see how everybody gets along, see who works better together. We can try different techniques and see how they work and if they do anything. Because we didn't even know if the place was actually active. I mean, then day one came along and we went, holy shit. I mean, but the whole intent was just we'll use it as a training ground and see what happens.
yeah,
And it just snowballed the amount of evidence that we were able to capture and the amount of activity that we were able to recognize. Just and you know, it all started from the idea of we can just try new things.
yeah,
The tripwire. Prior to me sitting and talking with Joe about that device, or Jeff rather. Um, Prior to that, everybody was setting a friggin' minefield of EMF devices down a hallway or whatever. And I told him I want something I can string down a handrail or I can connect corner to corner in a hallway that I can cross the hallway with and see if I can track movement. And next thing you know, now we have the latest greatest device in the field. Not for long. Dennis is working on a new one. So we'll see how it goes. But, if we had always done the same thing, we would all own 12 RIM pods and we would stagger them down a hallway. instead of stretch out one long line of EMF devices on one lead. Um, Lee, it is definitely an interesting place. The cabin on 360 sits on 7.2 acres of battlefield, and I can't even tell you the number of spirits that are in that property. There's two buildings, the log cabin, hence the cabin on 360, and a brick rancher next door with a basement. I I've had the shit scared out of me. I've had some tear jerking moments from EVP captures. In 1979, there was a little 12-year-old girl that was sexually assaulted and unalived by her 17-year-old half brother. Um, I've captured an EVP in that building in her bedroom that I am convinced is her directly answering a question. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting place.
Yeah.
But, you know, I had the basement steps. We always had activity. I wanted to be able to string something along that wasn't in our way walking down the steps. Now I can string a tripwire up the railing and around to the doorknob. The hallway upstairs, same thing. So when I approached Jeff and said, "Hey, here's my idea," which I had already spoken to Elizabeth Saint, she's like, "Oh, it sounds like something everybody else has got. It doesn't exist. It's not out there." So, you know, and she's an electrical engineer, love her to death, absolute sweetheart, beautiful girl, brilliant mind, but she blew it off, sadly, because I would have rather worked with her than Jeff. But, um, you know, it's just, if we had done what we had always done, we would have always got what we always had.
Yep.
So it was time
Yeah.
for something new.
Yeah. And the tripwire, that is really the only piece of new equipment that's come out in the last 10 years that is honestly different. Because everything else that I've seen come out has been the same stuff, just repackaged.
Pretty much. I mean, you really don't know what direction to go that's not already done, and how many times can you beat the same dead horse? Now,
Yeah.
the next device that I'm working with, I'm still in the design stage of what I want, but I'm going to work with Ron Wood over at Booze Paranormal, and he's going to build this thing for me. And hopefully, it it's a game changer. Well, we'll see.
Now, one thing that he showed me at the cabin con was that pistol grip recorder that he's working on.
Hmm.
I really want that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The fact that you can have almost instant playback.
Yeah.
The volume is good. The only trouble is if he doesn't put a um, micro SD or an SD card in it.
Yeah.
You get it, you play it, you lose it unless you capture it to another device right then.
Right.
Um,
And he did tell me that's what he's working on now is trying to figure out how to
you know,
do a
put it to
SD card or something
storage.
to it.
Yeah, Wraith Chasers, Mike and Chris, they have one very similar to it, and it has no savability in that device, no memory card. You know, so you do a recording. If you get a great capture, you can't record again until you play that one and record it to your other device.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with that. When you record it to another device, that next device, let me see. I want to look right here in front of me because this is the kind of bullshit that I have. Yeah. So here's one recorder. If I take another one that looks identical to this, they're going to work totally different. And I've proven this time and time and time again.
Even if it's the same model, it still works different.
Yeah. Um, and all these people are like, oh, I got the latest, I got the H6000. Uh, uh, it's got 12 mics across the top. You know what else it has? Built in noise cancellation. What are we listening for? The noise.
Hmm.
And they're like, oh, I didn't think about that. What I've got now, and um, I'm probably going to blow the lid on something here. Sully, just know I love you, brother. John Sullivan and I both, Fredericksburg paranormal research investigators, John Sullivan and I have both started buying old recorders from the same time frame as that DR60. Everybody's bragging about the RRDR60. Um, it captures wonderful shit, but there's virtually no noise reduction in it. Everything sounds like um, a can of compressed air being released in the background, but it does capture. Yeah, see, Paul Fowler, he doesn't have an H4n. He's got the H9250. But you know, those still work. They don't eliminate all noise because I used an H4n. Um, I set it up, and the cool thing about that is it has 4-channel recording. Now, the bad part about it is it has 4-channel recording. So you set the son of a bitch up for 6 hours. Now you got 24 hours of audio to review because you
Yeah.
got 4 channels recording simultaneously. Um, by the way, hey, Paul. But you are able to set that device in front of a door and say H4 placed, back channel to the wall, right channel face kid's bedroom, left channel faces parents' bedroom, front channel faces bathroom. So when you go back and review where that noise came from. It's cool as shit, and I've got some amazing captures on it. But at the same time, I've done some tests where I set 5 different recorders on the table, and 3 will capture something, 2 get nothing, and you know. So don't stick to one exact recorder the whole way through. Buy a multitude of them. Um, you know, I I still carry an old micro cassette recorder. You can't manipulate it.
Yeah.
You know, if I press play on that micro cassette recorder and say, "Listen to this, bro," you can't go, "Oh, well, you ran it through software." No, dickhead, it's a tape. It's in there. So
Okay. The only thing I have against those cassette recorders, unless you just use a brand new cassette every single time.
yeah, there's possible overlay,
Yeah.
and you know, I I buy the packs off of Amazon, 10 pack at a time. If I go through an entire night and I roll through that whole cassette, and I don't even like to use the A side and B side of them. I don't flip the tape, even though it's a delineation line between, like the way that those work. The tape is well, the tape is X wide. This is the A side of the tape. And then when you flip the tape over and you record on the B side, this is the B side. This is the A. Well, I guess here. This is B side. This is A side. The head doesn't flip. It only records to one half of the tape. So you can still have overlap. So I
Yeah.
don't even use the B side of the tape. And if I burn out a tape at the end of the night and I review it and I hear nothing, I throw the tape away. It's no good to me anymore. The amount of waste.
Yeah. You're getting ready to say it gets expensive doing that.
Well, it gets expensive doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever have radio controlled cars? They got expensive, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the first time you crash the damn thing or hit a curb and the frame exploded, well, there's a waste of money.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more waste of money than a cassette tape.
Yeah. And but this paranormal thing, it's probably the most expensive thing I've ever done.
Now, I've heard stories about you in Thailand. Never mind. Shit. That was out loud.
That was just between us.
I, I I forgot that.
Yeah. Can't
I
tell you a
forgot those
damn
feelings.
thing, can I?
No. But yeah, this is. I mean, I've got people coming to the cabin and they're like, I've only got a little bit of gear. That stuff's crazy expensive. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We're not going to look in my utility closet.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a big gear case for rent if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I complain about the equipment being the same thing in different packages. When my wallet allows me, I still buy the stuff.
Well, yeah. What little difference did it make? And you know, and you're right, Paul. Some of the places we visit are very costly. Um, I often wondered until I became a location owner, why is this so damn expensive? And then I started discovering why. Um, it's just not cheap to own a location. And when you look at a place like Trans Allegheny, as huge as that is, if you're putting money back into the location, it eats money like um, fat kid eats cake, and you should be putting money back into it.
Yeah.
That's part of the purpose of getting a location. It is not a money grab. I don't think you're going to become a millionaire by owning a location. Um, with the cabin, unless I book 12 days every single month, I don't even break even. I have to book 12 days every single month just to break even. And I'm not doing that. It's killing me. But my love, my team's love, the volunteers that my misfit toys, their love for what we're doing and why we're doing it keeps us moving forward.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be able to own that property at some point in time and do what we want to do. You know, Crescent was another site was costly, but the site was amazing. Yeah, I appreciate that, Paul. Your spot is amazing for what it is, and your pricing is fair. I appreciate that, brother. I try to keep it fair. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to go up a little bit. Um, I'm just not sure when I'm going to, for lack of better terms, be forced into doing it. But
Yeah.
I'll probably
And
go up $50 a night.
yeah, and even even at $50 a night for especially for what people are getting, you've got the best location in the entire country. I would be I don't feel uncomfortable saying that.
Wow, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. And I'm
because you get till 11 o'clock the next morning.
mhm.
Come on now. So you get a place to investigate and to crash when you're done investigating.
Yeah,
Come on now.
not get thrown off the property at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, guys, three in the
And then you
morning.
and
Let's
then you
go.
get the place to yourself. You don't have somebody following you around. Well, you can't do that. You can't do this.
Yeah, I had a team Saturday night ask me. They happened while I'm giving the tour and everything. They happened to spot a Ouija board on top of the merchandise case, and they're like, "Are we allowed to use those?" But frankly, I don't give a shit. Really? Most places won't let us do that. Well, here's my thought on it. You come in, you use a Ouija board. Um, what's the difference between that and the voice recorder? What's the difference between that and doing an Estes method? What's the difference between that and virtually anything else? You're still asking spirit to come through, talk to you. And here's a worst case scenario: you open the door with the spirit board and something comes through and you don't close the door right and you leave a spirit there at the cabin. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a haunted location. Bring me more ghosts.
Yeah.
I just, you know, and I, I don't care about the spirit board. I don't care whether you want to use them, you don't want to use them at the cabin. Um, I'm not one that, I don't say, oh, I don't use those, because I will. I don't see it any different than me holding this device in my hand going, can you come forward and talk to this little red light? I don't
Yeah.
see any
And
different.
I'm complete agreement with you. It's a tool. It is a tool. Just like that recorder you had in your hand. That is a tool.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm one of the ones, I do not believe that a piece of cardboard with some letters on it will actually open a portal itself.
No.
It's the people that are using it, they're doing the opening.
Yeah. And, even if something does come through, and let's say you and I use that board and something does come through and we don't close the board in the session properly, something stays on this side, odds are good it's going to follow us because we've invited it. But yeah, Daryl, I love that. Amen. It's the love of the place. That's why we do it, to share and try to preserve it. You know,
Yeah.
um, Spirits of Old Appomattox Courthouse. Um, you know, I, we are coming, by the way. We are coming, and I'm going to do both nights, both locations. Um, you know, we're we've got to show support for one another, and as location owners, you know, oh crap, I just had a brain fart. Robin Terry up in Ohio, Manor. He's got a manor, and I can't think of the damn name of it. It just drew a blank on me. They got hit by straight line winds, tore the roof off again. I shared his post. I'm like, one of our own took a hit from Mother Nature. Share, show them some love. Get in this raffle, buy some merch. You know,
Yeah.
send a donation. If we don't support one another, we all fester and die.
Yeah.
It's just, if we don't, you know, as many people as tell me, God, I absolutely love your location. To me, that indicates that they've been to my location. Fantastic. I hope you keep coming back, and I hope I can keep being something that you want to visit. It just, you know, but it's the love of the spirits that are there, the love of the history that is there. The team Saturday night was, my God, man, how many hours have you spent researching everybody that was here? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
You're
I'm
still
like,
researching.
yeah, I, I know I can't count that many hours on both hands, my feet, and borrow a third hand. But I want to be able to recognize 13th Virginia, 49th Virginia, 15th Pennsylvania, um, 19th Maine. All of those need to be recognized because all of them laid down their lives on that land or right beside it, and they need to be memorialized. So that's what we'll do. You know, just like the Spirits of Appomattox Courthouse. And I got to get to the church. Apparently, Badlands Paranormal is just absolutely nuts about the church there at Daryl's place. So, got to get there. But if we just keep doing what we've always done, Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to improve.
Hey, at the very beginning of the show, I listed my bucket list. If money was no object, you can go anywhere you want to go. What's the number one place you would go to?
There was an ice cream shop in the town that I grew up in that had just amazing ice cream. It was all hand churned. So that would be it.
Paranormal place.
Oh, oh, oh.
Smart ass.
this is this has been my answer to that question for probably 2 decades or more. Poveglia Island, Italy. Um, there was a bubonic plague and
Oh
tuberculosis
yeah,
island.
yeah.
The island itself supposedly grew 30% in size from the cremains of all the dead there.
Wow.
If any place is going to be haunted, that would have to be it. And
Yeah.
I would want to go pay my respects to the spirits that are there. Um, let them know that they're not forgotten. It's not a matter of, I want to go be the ghost hunter there. I want to go let the spirits there know that they're not forgotten, that you still hold a place in our history and you're still spoken about, even if not by name. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Poveglia
Mi-
Island.
yeah, mine's Normandy.
Okay. It's pretty much same reason.
Yeah.
Let them know that they're still thought of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Normandy, that has always been number one on my list.
and I saw somebody ask that same question last week or week before or whatever, and one of the answers was the Donner Pass. I can get behind that. You know, I'd love to speak with the Outlaw Nine and find out what the fuck happened. You know, they tore their way out of a tent in absolute sub-zero temperatures, and they're found without clothes. She is found with her tongue ripped out. What, was it? I mean, some of it is some of the theories are the native tribes there got a hold of them. Some of it is they captured a large black figure off towards the wood line, and it is skunk ape, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti. So yeah, Donner Pass would be another cool one. Go
Yeah.
speak with the outlaw uh, trackers. But there's so many places. Another place that I think would absolutely be cool as shit is and I'm probably going to screw this name up, um, a Goku Forest or something like that. It's like Suicide Forest in Japan. Um, it has the highest number of suicides of any single one location in Japan. You know, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but I think that would be a cool place to go too.
Yeah.
So, but there's, yeah, my number one would have to be Poveglia Island.
Yeah. Well, it's 9:35.
Very good. You can
Yeah.
tell what time the little hand and big hand are on.
Now it's digital.
Uh, have you seen one of these dumbasses? Dude walks down the street and he's got, you know, what time does this say? And it's hand clock. And college kids have no idea.
Yeah.
Or read this card and they can't read 2/3 of what's on it. I'm like,
It's in cursive.
yeah, we're screwed. No, it's in English. It just has like 3-syllable words or more. And it just
Yeah.
absolutely baffles them. We're
Yeah.
cooked, bro. We're cooked. I'm glad I'm almost 60 years old. That means I don't have but, maybe another 30 years here, because beyond that, I really don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
They're just,
Yeah.
They're just getting
Well,
dumber and dumber the more we put in office.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you, Daryl.
Yeah. Yeah. You can be on. Hey, next week, don't forget about us.
Who?
You.
What?
Next week's paranormal roundtable.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the first week of the month.
there's no way I can forget about that.
Yeah, you start mowing your grass.
Yeah. Well, hey, I will tell you this. It's a brand new DeWalt mower, uh, rear wheel drive. It's a 163cc motor on it, self propelled. Yeah, I got some pretty dim lines across my yard now. Yeah, Lee, we could cripple an entire generation if we go back to making, manual shift, standard shift cars.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This world's just sunk. You know, when so I had people ask me, "How the hell are you driving?" Because my right foot's in a boot. And I'm like, "Well, I've got just enough um, motion in that right foot that I can push the gas, and I'm braking left-footed." They're like, "How can you do that?" What? It just
You pick
baffles
your
me.
left foot up and you put it on that pedal.
Yeah, it just baffles them. I'm like, well, thank God I learned in an era when we had four pedals across the bottom of the floorboard.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean four pedals? We had the gas, the brake, the clutch, and the parking brake. What?
Plus a button.
Yeah, high beams.
Yep.
And if you give them a three on the tree, done. Done deal.
Yeah.
They're not stealing that for loving their money.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody stole it, they're older than a
Oh, yeah.
millennial.
Yeah. It's got to be somebody 60 or above. You can't go far. Check all the bathrooms, gas station restrooms within a 5-mile radius because you probably got to stop for a pee break.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate you coming on and putting up with my dumbass for the first half hour till Dennis got on and saved me.
Yeah, it saved you. Off the cliff.
All right, y'all have a good night. We'll be back next week with Paranormal Roundtable. Good night.
Y'all have a blessed week. Thanks for tuning in.